Welcome back everyone, and we are going to be making a newcomen in this video. Now, what you might see is that there's bees outside. Every beehive has spawned one bee. This is flowering, but it just turned into fruiting, so I fear we're not gonna get honey from that one. This is flowering too, this lemon tree, so if this bee would end up on the tree, we might get lucky and get honey, but the bee is going quite far away. Please don't go too far. Please stay around here. It is something you can't really predict. The thing is, if you fence it in and you sort of stop the animals from going anywhere, the bees that is, then they have no choice but to, end up on something that flowers. So the milkweed is flowering again, but I fear the bees just despawn. So this round we are not getting any honey. But at some point we're going to get lucky though, and we're going to get honey from either the tree or from the milkweed. So we're just gonna leave it as it is. A little sad, you know how much I like honey, but today's lesson is not about honey, it is about the newcomen tower. So we have most ingredients here, and I have a cheat sheet that I like to use. I will try and put it up on the screen. Let me just save it to my PC already so I do not forget where it is. There we go. And that cheat sheet that you see, I'll also link it so you can get it in high resolution for yourself. So there's a few things on that cheat sheet that it says we need to make a tower, and the location for the tower ideally is one tile away from your adobe kiln. So leave this spot empty, and then over here you put down the newcomen. So to start with that, we would need stakes. Have I moved all the stakes around? I probably have when I was making animal pens. So let's just go over here. And in case you're wondering, yes, I do constantly play when you guys aren't watching. I don't need a blueprint for that. It's sort of useless. You don't need a blueprint for a newcomen. Now, if you're already working on a beautiful smithy and you have a floor in mind or something like that, you could absolutely put down a floor first. Personally, I don't have a floor in mind, so I don't need to. So what you do is you hit it 5 times, and this makes pit stakes. Now, you don't put down the newcomen stuff in pit stakes. You need to hit it with a mallet too. And now look very carefully how the pit stakes change. Yeah, this is how they need to look. So they need to be in this shape, and this is called a newcomen tower stakes. So then you move your mallet away, and now you can start stacking 4 of these. So we will stack 4. And this is now a freestanding newcomen foundation. And I didn't think of it, but it blocks 2 tiles. I can't walk south now, and I have to walk all around the well. This is not super smart on my behalf. I could have maybe done that better. If I had moved it one to the side and eventually moved the kilns to the side as well. Oh, I still can. Wait, let me see. Yeah, I just moved it. Okay. So you don't even need a shovel or anything to dig it out. Could move it one to the side, and my future kilns, which are gonna be big stone ovens, are gonna be way better, are then gonna go one to the side. So not here, but here. And then the well is going to be sort of looking like it's part of the newcomen. This has its advantages and disadvantages. I like the way it looks, but you guys might not see very well when I'm filling it up with charcoal and water, and you'll just have to listen for the sounds. And believe me when I say, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. Also, I just used the wrong thing. I needed a mallet. Okay, let's try again. So now we're gonna put it over here. And it's okay, because the well is already blocking anyway. So it's all fine. So you basically add 4 of these. And then we're gonna go to our branches over here, separate all of them, and we're gonna hit all of them with a sharp stone. And now we're gonna add 2 of these curved shafts to this. This is a pump beam kit. And do we add that to this already? Yeah, pump beam kit goes straight on there. And then this will come later, as well as a rope, which I've gathered as well. So these, the rope and this will be added, but what we need to make now is called a newcomen core, if I'm not mistaken. And for making the newcomen core, I want you to get 3 stones, 3 flat stones. Prepare yourself for some proper smithing. And we're also going to take 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. So 3 wrought iron. And what we're going to do is quite simple. You can do this, by the way, with a smithing hammer that's steel, but I think you can do it with bronze as well. It doesn't need to be steel. I'm just checking for some food. Okay, so what we're going to do, make a fire. Also, my cat is now sleeping in my arms. He's super cute. The thing is, they were working outside and drilling for most of the day, so I think he's sort of exhausted because he hasn't slept much. But back to our newcomen. Sorry for getting distracted. So how are we going to do the next thing? We're going to put 3 hot wrought irons on stones. One will be hit once, one will be hit twice, and the other one will be hit 4 times. That's all you need to remember. 1, 2, 4, right? Remember that sequence? Three of the wrought irons, hot, 1, 2, 4, and it will give us what we need. So do that. And if you're ever like, how do I remember this? Just repeat after me, 1, 2, 4, okay? So 1, 2, 4. This is all we needed. But what I am going to do is heat up one of these. And we are going to need a file. And a file, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a file. So the file is not included in the cheat sheet, but you will need it. So that's why I said, like, the cheat sheet said that you need 8 steel, but I'm like, you need like 9 or 10, because if you don't have a file yet and you don't have a chisel yet, you will need it like this. So every time you make a file, you need to smother it in cooked goose like this, so it becomes oiled. That's also why I haven't been eating those. And then you will need your chisel like this, and you put that on top of your file. So if you didn't have a chisel yet, then you would have needed to make that too. So that's where the 10 steel comes from, according to me. So but we have a file now, and this will be used later on because we will be making blades as well. So that's all okay now. So back to these things that we made, right? So let's start by putting this big thing down. We can carry it around later on, so don't worry about how you put it down at this point. And this small thing, the crude piston, I'll also quickly name them because you might not know what they are called if you look at the image. So crude piston, crude cylinder, and large tank. Those are the 3 things that are here. So this large tank, it needs a hole. You need to make a hole in it, and you do that hole by using a chisel on it. And that can be a bronze chisel. It might also work with a steel chisel. Let me double check. Yeah, steel chisel works too. So in this case, we use a bronze one. There we go. And we've made a hole in there. And that's what we needed to do. Then the next thing, we can already add this thing on top, the crude cylinder. Now this thing won't be added because we need the rubber wheel for that. So this vulcanized rubber tire, just the one like how we made them for our horse, that goes on there. So now it's a crude piston with seal, and you plop that in. And now you have a newcomen atmospheric core. Can we add that to this? Yep, it goes in here. Now you can also see that the shallow well is completely blocking the view of that little hole that was in there, remember? See this little hole? Usually you will see if there's water in there and if there's charcoal in there, but because of the location, it's not quite the same. It's a little sad, not gonna lie, but I still feel like this is one of the best spots for it for me. So you just have to live with it. If you're new and you're like, I don't want a well in front of it, I don't like that, you can just move it up one and then just, you know, do everything one higher or something when we remake this area in the first place. But for now, this is okay. And we are almost done with this part. We add that rope now. see, the rope goes between the newcomen and that wooden structure at the top. And then we add this U branch. There we go. And now we have a multi-purpose newcomen engine. You only need to make this thing once. And now we are going to make things that we add to this bit to make it functional. So there's a few things we will make. Once again with wrought iron, I think we will make another one of those little pistons that you only need to hit once. And that's going to help us make a hammer for this. And the hammer is already like one of the best things to make. If you're like, oh, I don't want to do the rest just yet, make a hammer with me. And then the next thing that we will make, we will need a hammer for that. So yeah, we just have to light it up again, make a hammer. What we will also be making is 2 blades, I think, if not 3. I'm doubting for a second how many I'm gonna make. I'm thinking 2 blades, no, 3 blades actually, but I think I might also only be able to do 2. Let's do 2 blades and see how far we get. And then this one hit once, and then 2 blades. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. You might also be like, Jesse, you seem a little hesitant about what to do next. I'm like, yeah, I don't make a lot of newcomen stuff. It has been quite a long while since I did it last, so not gonna lie about that. That's just the truth. Okay, so this one, hit it once. That's what we need. And then these, we put them on the anvils, and we're gonna make blades. Here we go. All right. So what we're gonna make next is a hammer. So the hammer is super easy. Take a flat stone, put this thing on top. Ta-da! Crude piston on flat rock, and this makes the hammer. Look. Now we have a newcomen hammer. You can remove this again, and now it's a crude piston on a flat rock again. So that's how this newcomen thing works. Every time you need a specific thing, you just leave your appendages somewhere over here or something. And every time you need it, you're just like, oh, I need a hammer. So there you go, hammer. Done. So what we need to make next is going to be made in the hammer. We will be putting 2 ingots over at the hammer. That's 1. That's 2. And yeah, hold on. I am still checking how and what we do. The order of things is not super clear, but it's okay. I also feel like I need to be more efficient because I only need to do this twice. But I will have more uses out of my thing. So I feel like I should be preparing a little bit more steel. And you don't have to do this. You can just focus on what you want to focus on, right? You don't have to do exactly as I'm doing this. I'm just going to prepare some bolts here because I do have the wrought iron anyway. They will need to be processed into steel at some point. So I'm just putting these down as well as these. So once I fire these up, they need to be hot. So I'm going to make them hot in here. You will use your tongs for that. And then once they are hot, you are going to use them in the hammer. One of them you're going to use twice, and the other one you're going to hit 3 times. And it's going to make 2 discs, a small disc and a big disc. And that's what we're going to do. Now you might say, how do we fire up the newcomen hammer? If you open this, it says add a full bucket of water. So that's what we got to do. Also, you might be like, do you have a bucket? I'll just put that on the floor and use this bucket instead. And because we haven't gotten to the point where we have a beautiful well side here, we have to fill the water manually with a bowl. A little bit like noobs play, but that's okay. This is a 1-person town. You might not go as fast in this sort of town as you would somewhere else. So now you can't see when it's filled with water, but it will say it if you hover over it. So it says newcomen hammer with full boiler. And you also heard it, right? You put in charcoal, it will say newcomen hammer with charcoal. And you heard it as well, how it went in. You can't get it out once it's in here, so it's now full. But if you're like, oh no, I didn't need to hammer, you can still take off the hammer and add whatever other appendage you need. But we need to hammer. So what I need to do, fire up both at the same time, make these hot. One needs to be hit twice, the other one needs to be hit 3 times on the hammer, right? That's what I need to do. There's also other things I could do though with the hammer besides those. Things have become quite tempting at this point. Ooh, no, I'm not gonna do it. I need to do that in a separate video. You might be like, what were you thinking, Jesse? I was like, I could start on cement, on making cement, but that is something we need to do separately, or else I'm gonna confuse you. And this is why sometimes it's not a good idea to have an ADHD teacher, because we get so distracted about these things. So it's not always easy. All right, let's go. Let's see how much I can prepare. 1, 2, and now 2 hits, 3 hits, and then we're just gonna try and cook the steel. There we go, max efficiency. We used 6 uses. You can see that the hammer is still going. It doesn't go for long, it's only 20 seconds, which is a little bit longer than the forge, but not much longer. So yeah, but we got 2 of these things. We got a small pulley and we got a big pulley. So what do we do with this? We will add, and I'm calculating things. We need to add this to a shaft. And we do have some more shafts over here. I'm not sure in what order we add these though. Big one first, small one next. Let's see, can I pull them off? No. This is now called a disconnected pulley drive mechanism. And if you see, look at this, it says that you need to add a rubber belt or a timing belt. I think I need a rubber belt and not a timing belt, but yeah, it's the rubber belt. You might be like, okay, what is this thing then? Why does it say in the crafting guide that you need to use a timing belt? That is for making engines. It's very similar, not the same thing though. We're not making an engine yet. We just need a vulcanized rubber belt. So what we do is we come here, we use that on there, and that is now a raw rubber belt. I could technically make 2 and make a timing belt for the future. I am going to be needing this at some point, so I'll just make 2. One of them for the newcomen and one for the future. You might be like, Jesse, I don't have that much rubber available right now. Yeah, don't worry. Also, I can't put this in a horse. Oh, I can put it in here though. Hold on. But this thing doesn't go in the horse now. Well, you know what? I'll just carry it manually. Hey. This is why sometimes it's nice to have a kitchen smithy where everything is close together. But it can also be really frustrating, and I prefer to have things separately, so we'll just keep things separate for now. We'll just do a few walks. So we're going to cook those 2 rubber belts. And we only need 1. You only need 1, but we're gonna make a second one for when we do need to make an engine in the future. Okay. I don't have a proper axe here. That annoys me a little bit, but I'll just chop this instead. Because we still have a little hatchet here. There we go. And we're gonna get some fire from the other area. Go up, up, up. And yeah, you can tell already, we're taking a little bit of time here, but this is something that is one of the harder things that we have had to do up until this point. And especially if it's your first time, the newcomen is a little overwhelming, so don't feel bad about it. It is the way it is. And what we are going to cook are our rubber things. Besides that, we still have a little bit of meat as well. We could cook some pork, and I might cook a little bit of pork in this way. This will make carnitas, which is slightly different than pork like that. So we cook those 2. And we... Oh no, wait. These go on a fire. Duh. I'm a little bit of an idiot. We can't cook it like that. We cook some of the mutton. And we cook some of the beef. I'm not too worried about cooking all of it, but if some of it is left, that's fine too. So there we go. Cooked a lot of food, and we got these belts now. And we only need to take back 1 at this point. The other one we just need whenever we make an engine, which is not for the newcomen, thank heavens. So we go back to this thing, and we attach it. And this is now called a pulley drive mechanism. The pulley drive mechanism is something that you can attach some items to. Like you could attach a blade to it. So we don't have a blade yet, but we do have, this is a blade blank. But if we hit it with the steel file once, it becomes a blade. And you could say, oh yeah, this goes in. And now this is a bore mechanism. Look at this, look. There we go, a new common bore, which we could use for whatever. But you can take the blade off, and we can also make... I need one more rope. Sorry, I forgot that I needed one more rope, but luckily we're very close to our cotton farm and where the rope is. Then we need one of these for another extension. So we have a few extensions now, right? You guys are seeing it, I hope. So what we do next, you make a short shaft, you add a rope, and you add a blade. There. And now this is I don't know, is it a late? Late is the word? And you can add this as well. And this is a late mechanism, newcomen late. So that's something you can use as well. Now you might say, Jesse, you just used a blade. And I'm well aware this is why we made 2 blades. So we make one just for keeping it separate. And then we have one like this. And then we have the crude piston like that. And this blade, it's kind of tricky because people do sometimes think, oh, a free blade for me to use. I usually put it in a basket with the other extensions. If you play in a public town, it's a little difficult. People might think they can just use it as they please. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. What else do we need? We're not done yet. We have a hammer, we have a pulley drive, we have a lathe hat, and this is a bore. We don't have a drill yet. I'm thinking now how to make the drill, and the cheat sheet is failing me at this point. I am not seeing what I need to do. It says I need a roller. I know that I need a roller, but what I don't see on the cheat sheet is how to make it. And that is very confusing. Am I missing something? So the newcomen is there. I made the rubber belt. I made this. I don't have a lathe. How do I add that bit? Oh god, this cheat sheet is not doing it for me, guys. Checking. I noticed Ollie made this in July, so only a few months ago. I'm wondering if there is a better one. Let me just double check and get another cheat sheet. Okay, I think I have another one now. But this one is just explaining the newcomen engine, the massive tower. It's not explaining all the rest. Checking some others. Oh, well, this is very embarrassing because I'm in the middle of a video and now I'm stuck on how to make something. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to go to 2tech. 2tech is our website, which should be used for most recipes. It can be complex for a recipe like this, but I'm so close to finishing it now. So I'm on 2tech, the website, and I'm just gonna look for newcomen drill or something. So in the newcomen drill is basically the pulley drive mechanism, if I see it correctly, with a little drill mechanism added to it. The drill bit is what I need, and the drill bit is a tin steel rod that I use in the lathe, and the tin steel rod comes from a hot tin steel rod. Where do we make this in? A roller, which we don't have yet. So it's the problem is that I don't have the roller yet. And then if we look at the roller, those are 2 of those large discs, it seems, which seem to be completely missing from the cheat sheet, or not shown very easily at least. So the roller mechanism, 2 large pulleys together, and the large pulleys were made out of steel as well. So, and we use it on the hammer, right? So we're going back to the hammer. Hammer time. Putting 2 of these there, and we're gonna make one of those roller mechanisms. I'm kind of surprised this was missing from the cheat sheet. Like, maybe my interpretation of it is just wrong, but I was struggling. Alright, I am hungry, so I'm going to eat something. Now, at this point, I could technically eat a goose, but files can break, so it's always a good idea to just have a goose somewhere. Just in case. Okay, we're back. I'm not having a whale of a time. I do not enjoy smithing very much, guys. This is, you should be very grateful for me for making this video and suffering for your sake. Because usually I play with friends, and usually Zabala is the one making the stuff like this, or Eerie might even make it, or anyone else. And I just go and I do honey, and I plant trees, and I plant flowers, and make flower pots, and I'm a happy person. Right now I'm a very unhappy person. So we're going to make 2 of those large pulleys. And if I'm not mistaken, it was, what, 2 hits? 3 hits? There was a lot of hits. Also, I'm quickly checking if I can find another cheat sheet. There are some cheat sheets from 1 Hour 1 Life. And since the newcomen stuff is actually from 1 Hour 1 Life, these cheat sheets should be fine. Let's see. Double checking some stuff. No, it's just they're only explaining the main newcomen. They're not explaining the details either, so we're kind of stuck. So yeah, we need to make those big things again. Those big wheels, and it's this big wheel that was 3 times under the hammer. So I need to gather more water now. If I had known this from the start, then I would have done this in one go and not had to bother with doing it twice, right? Because I like being efficient, and I was not being efficient. Okay, so the newcomen hammer is completely charged up again. I can make another one of those roller things. I'm also checking if I am not forgetting something, but I think I'm okay. So we're just going to continue and hope for the best. Pray that we don't mess anything up again. So, oh, I need to get that one going as well. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I didn't prepare anything else for the occasion, so this is just how it is. Okay, we got these now, and we're gonna put those on a branch like this, on a straight shaft. So one of these, a roller mechanism. This does seem to be the complete roller mechanism, but let's check over here. So yeah, they say you can just add this to this thing, and this is now the newcomen roller. And this was what was confusing me in the image. Where does this stick come from? Look, there's no stick, right? And then you put it on here, and suddenly there's a stick that you need for the roller or something. I don't know. It's a bit weird. But this newcomen roller, this is the next thing we need, because we need to make a little drill, if I'm not mistaken. And the drill is made with steel. Oh, actually, I have a lot of steel here. Hot steel again, so I need to fire everything up. And this is why I have been making so much charcoal, because if I had to be making charcoal all the time now, it would be distracting maybe. But I'm still gonna do it, because, you know me, OCD, I gotta add a little bit of charcoal every now and then. I'm just scared I'm gonna run out of charcoal before I'm done with all this. And we need a little bit of extra firewood, because I've just been using a lot of it. Which is logical. I mean, smithing does require a lot of firewood, so make sure that you have some firewood nearby as well, so you can work without having to go and collect things and lose your train of thought. So let's fill up the newcomen roller this time. And in the roller, we need to make a little drill bit, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the thing that we are making now. Need to fill a bucket of water. There we go. We add charcoal. And we need to hit both of them up, and then we just make the drill bit once. That's it. Just for one thing. It is I find it a little bit of a waste, and we need to hit it twice, so it's this thing. And this is now a hot tin steel rod, and that's basically all we need. And I think this goes on the pulley drive. Oh, hold on, let me just wait for it to cool. No, where does it go? On the lathe. Hold on, so this is the roller, take it off. Add a lathe. Add a lathe here. No. No. No, what do I need this for? What do I need this for? What is this? What did I just made? I think I need to make a drill. And the cheat sheet is not showing me how. And I'm getting really frustrated by the cheat sheet. I'm going to 2-tech. Okay, newcomen drill. How to make a newcomen drill. So the drill mechanism is a drill bit, and the drill bit is a thin steel rod in the lathe. Okay, I'm almost there. So lathe is over here, and now we need to fire up this thing. We don't need to make this hot, and we can just use our bare hands. We don't need the tongs for this. And I'm complaining because I wanted to make a video that was going to be easy for you guys, and if you guys see me struggle, I can't imagine you guys are doing much better than me. You're trying to keep up with what I'm doing. I mean, you can of course pause and go back and everything, but sometimes I just say things that aren't correct because the sources I was following weren't correct, so yeah. Anyway, at this point we have the newcomen lathe and we have this little tin steel rod, and we're just going to hold it in our hand. We're not going to heat it up and hit it once, and then it's going to make what we call a drill bit, and that is something we need. So now, fire it up, drill bit, done. That was what we needed. In the past, we needed drill bits so much because I think we used them to put in mines or something. That's long since gone. We no longer do that. So I think we might have everything now. I think we're at the end of it though, guys. I think we have everything we need to make whatever we want. So what we can do now is add a drill bit, and then we have a drill mechanism. That's the newcomen drill. And I'm gonna double check. We do need to put a blade in there in the newcomen drill. So if we have a newcomen drill, we need to fire that up. So we need to add a boiler and we need to add charcoal. And then what you use on it, you fire it up, and I'm just checking. There's a few things that need a newcomen drill, but we want to make what they call a draw plate. And for that, we actually need to make another blade. Another blade first now, because I have been really uneconomical with everything I've been making. I'm gonna just fire up a little bit more charcoal. And we're gonna prepare a few bolts, because I don't want to fire everything up just for one blade that I haven't made yet. So let's also prepare a little bit extra steel, because we don't have that much steel. There we go. Don't need all these things here. Okay, and let's make 2 tools or something. Let's make 2 blades, because we will probably need to make a proper knife too at some point, so yeah, I think that's gonna be good. Let's fire up a little bit extra charcoal. Okay, so we're gonna make the rest of it. Fire it up, cook our 3 steel. Now put our 2 steel on here. We're gonna make 2 blades. There we go, 2 blades are made. And then one of those blades is going to become a draw plate, which we need to use on the newcomen drill. So we need to fire that thing up again. The good thing is we only need to fire up this. We don't need to fire up another kiln for doing that blade thing. The draw plate. And the draw plate is a very important thing though, because you will need to draw blade for, if I'm not mistaken, the loom. So if we want to make a loom and make proper clothes, this draw plate is very important. So it's very good we got to this point. We got a boiler in here, but we haven't added charcoal yet. So let's do that too. And now just make a draw plate. There we go. That was it. We made ourselves a draw plate. There's a few other things we will make eventually at the drill, but for now we don't need to use the drill again. And I think we've gotten everything now. I think we've gotten all the extensions to a newcomen. We got this blade, we got this, we got the hammer, which we will be using most. The draw plate is also something we will be using a little bit, but not much. And then the newcomen drill itself can go away. And if you remove the drill bit, it's just a pulley drive mechanism. And you can add the blade to it. You can add this to it. I should probably put these 3 extensions in a basket together. So those 3 go with this. The hammer is just kind of loose. So I'm just trying to pick up the hammer. There we go. Put that on there. And this is basically the newcomen 101. Oh god, this is such a bad video, I feel. How are you guys doing? Is your brain exploding yet? Did you guys have more success than me in making all these things? The one thing I would recommend though at this point, after I've done it, is just to keep 2tech close by. And if you feel like, oh, the cheat sheet isn't clear, use that instead. So what I would also check, hold on, let me just double check something. So if you have a newcomen, the things you need to add are a crude piston on flat rock that makes your hammer. That's what we got now. You need to add a newcomen roller, which is basically the big one. That's this one. So the roller mechanism, that's the mechanism you need to make. I'm gonna put them all on the side here, right? So make a hammer, make a roller with 2 big ones, then make a pulley drive. And the pulley drive has 3 extensions, which are these 3. That's basically it. Those are the extensions that you need to add to this thing. So you need the crude piston, you need a roller, you need a pulley drive, and then these 3 items, a blade, a lathe, and a drill. And then what I also recommend is making a draw plate once you have the drill bit, just because you can, and because you will need it in the future as well. So yeah, that's probably it, guys. I feel like this was enough for this video. I am going to go back to the bees, just because that settles my nerves a little bit. Let's see if we got anything from the bees. The bees just popped out. Did it? It has a red bot. This is really good. It's a honeybee because it sat on the milkweed. If it can come to the beehive, which it doesn't seem to be doing, it seems to be going in circles. No, come back. Come back to the beehive, please. I'm going to try and get it into a beehive by moving the beehive closer. Come into the beehive, please. Please. Please get in here. Get into it, please. No, go in, go in. Please, you have honey on your butt. I want you to go in the beehive. Please, go in. No, don't disappear. Come on, how many more uses? Did he disappear? No. Ah, we have no luck this video. That is making me so sad, guys, because now we need to wait another 10 minutes or so before the bees come up again, and yeah, sometimes lives just really suck into our soul life. Sometimes this game just sucks, man. Oh well. Well, we're starving. We're going hungry, so time to end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for struggling so much. I hope you still learned something from my video, such as do not follow videos when making a newcomen engine. Yep, that's probably the lesson to take away from this. Anyways, guys, have a good time. See you around. Until next video. Bye-bye.